Namaskar. Welcome to Conversations with Rakesh. Here's today's question. Rakesh, I'm a manager in a company. After the pandemic, we decided to open up the offices, but it is becoming very difficult to get my teams come to work. Majority of them don't want to return to office and are happy working from home, but I feel that this is not productive. What do you suggest I do? This is such a timely question. I was a part of this conference where many startups were together, and this became a very big discussion for many companies who are not really startups but have entered a mid segment. And the problem with these companies is that they have massive funding, so they have to get results, and the results are not coming because of variety of factors: downturn, massive changes in the environment, some economic crisis, a war, and things are not according to the business plan that were discussed. And now this issue of pandemic kind of either being forgotten or reaching a point where we don't care about it anymore, though we should, has become a focus for everyone. That I think the problem is that employees are not coming to office. And I remember vividly that this discussion took a turn where instead of focusing on the root cause, which is how do we bring people to the office, it just became a very strange discussion where one manager cited that he found that many of his employees were scared to come to office, but then he found out from their Instagram and social media posts that they were having a great party in Goa or some holiday place, and they were like in between a lot of people. And this is a very serious problem because this is a personal life being discussed in an office environment, and we don't know the backgrounds, but putting two and two together, it seems like a very valid point. One manager talked about that how there is a serious rumor in the organization where those who come to office are perceived to be doing it to suck up to bosses and get more promotions. And those who are actually working from home are getting ignored, which is a big problem. Some people genuinely are finding living in cities very, very difficult. So they've shifted to their hometowns. Working from home help them save money. So they don't want to come back to the city. So real serious issues on working from office. There are statistics and reports that less than 15 to 20% employees are in favor to come to office full time. Majority of them are happy to have a hybrid mode, and most of them are happy to just let them decide what they want to do. Now, not every company can do this. There are certain jobs that have to be done in office, manufacturing, many other areas which require managing machines and people, you have to come to office. But then there are many knowledge companies where this issue is becoming very big problem, service economy, and many more other factors. So I'll give you my perspective. They are governed by my own thought processes, and I must tell you that I've been working from home, or at least I'm familiar with the concept of working from home for more than 20 years. When I was in Intel way back in 2001 and 2002, we were introducing the Centrino laptops, which is Wi-Fi, and the whole idea of a laptop without wires is to allow people from work from anywhere. So the concepts of telecommuting were very, very big, and this is the exponential growth of IT. So Intel and many companies invested heavily on these concepts and they believed in it. And I have witnessed that revolution because I remember in those days in 2001 and 2, I used to work from home at least one day a week, and the organization had a policy. If you are having meetings late in the night, you could work from home the next day morning, because I had to work with my colleagues in America, Japan, China, Europe. So it was quite an intense time. So I believe that working from home, if done right, can be very productive. But then it also requires discipline from the employee as well, that you can't work from home and take a chutti and sleep when you're working from home. You can't multiplex five things when you are having a work from home. What I think is happening is this gray line of home and office has been diluted because of the pandemic, which is causing serious problems in the workplace. And I'll give you the biggest problem according to me, and I am a teacher and I work with a lot of corporations. Many of them don't even switch on their videos. And it's a personal choice. And after a point, I can't do anything about it. Nobody can do anything about it unless there is a law of the land. So here is my request number one. I think all of you as managers need to create your law of the land policy of your office, which is not happening. Many of you are not taking a decision because you are very worried about your own jobs and your own reputations because you don't want to be the bad guys. I think this requires you to take a stand. Many people will resign. The great resignation and the great disillusionment is happening. Many employees will haw and huff that we are not coming, to hell with you. We're going to go to a company where we work from home, which is fine. You decide. As a manager, you have to take the first step. Either you declare that you're a work from home, do whatever it takes, or you're a work from office. And if it's a work from home policy, it is crystal clear defined. No more than 1 or 2 days a week. The days are defined. 1 day a week, everybody comes together. Everybody makes sure their calendars are well synchronized. Tools and techniques are found out to make it very productive. So please do that. The problem is most managers themselves are working from home. Many CEOs are working from their great houses that they're buying. We know many founders of many companies don't enter offices for many days. And if they are not coming to office, the employees will feel कि यार वो नहीं आ रहा है तो मैं क्यों आऊँगा. So I think this is a very important thing. So my step number one or request number one for all of you is walk the talk. The time has come for you to demonstrate your own discipline. Please declare a policy and make sure you adhere to it 100%. If the policy is work from office, you land up at 9 a.m. every morning and leave at 5 p.m. And those who are not coming, please take disciplinary action against them. One company did a very good idea. What they did was they decided work from office policy, and they said to employees that if you don't want to come to office, no problem, but you have to take a salary hit. And many employees were happy to do that. So create your own policies. It's very unfair on various fronts for the employees as well to have such policies. But again, you have to make a choice. So either you make a choice which makes things clear, or you just leave it and ignore it. And if you've decided to take a decision, quickly do it and announce it. So that's step number one. Walk the talk and make a decision. Step number two, I think this requires you as a manager to ask yourself the root cause of why people are not coming to office. To me, that is the most dangerous question. And I think many people don't want to come to office because they genuinely don't see a reason to come to office. They are able to do their work. They are much more relaxed. The home environment is nice. They can do various things like, bring up their families, which is difficult. Many parents have young babies. They have dependent parents. Pandemic has brought them together. So it's a good idea for them to work from home. So give your ear and empathy to your employees. They may seriously not want to come to office. Many employees may find the office very toxic, and that's why they don't want to come to office. Many employees find the commute a serious waste of their productive time. I mean, imagine 2 hours one way, 4 hours a day if you're commuting. It's a criminal waste of employee life, health, mental wellness, and many more issues, plus the pollution on the roads. So why don't you empathize with the employees, talk to them, and see what's the root cause. If it's a genuine problem, address that problem, which means make your policies as friendly as possible. This is the moment of good management decisions. I think my heartburn with management training is very simple, that when we go to a management classroom, we talk about leadership, ethics, empathy. This is the time to demonstrate it. And many companies are not doing it. In fact, I read some horrible news stories of companies like Tesla and Apple, who are threatening employees to come back, which is understandable. I mean, they must have a problem, which is why they're doing it. But sometimes I go back to my own mind that, hey, Don't we talk in classes about leadership, empathy, good management decisions, think about employees? Isn't this the time to talk about it? Or is this the time to become a taskmaster, take a danda and start beating people? Because that's exactly what employees don't like. So make up your mind, be very, very empathic to your audience, to your employees. This is a good time to understand why they are not coming. And number three, which is very, very critical, redefine the jobs and the description all over again. This is very critical. When you recruit people, introduce a new concept which I firmly believe in, that is this person self-motivated, or is this person, does he require or she require a lot of hand holding? If the person is self-motivated, they will be very open to working from anywhere. They are the people who are very self-motivated, they know how to collaborate, they communicate very well, they are comfortable working on Google Meets and Zoom calls. They don't need to come to office to feel needed. And this debate is becoming very important. And I am on the side of the debate where I feel that certain people are more conducive to work from home than everybody else. Many people don't like working from home because they don't like that environment. They want to come to office, they want to feel needed. In many ways, this is the classic debate of introversion, extroversion, which I think is an old debate and we should just delete it from our lives. But there's a behavior in a person. Some people thrive amongst people, some people don't. So if your job and your company requires people to come together to work, I think working from office is important. But like my organization, we have chosen some talented individuals who are working all over the world in 9 cities. And I feel that they are so self-motivated that I don't need to bring them to office. They know what to do. They're very smart. They figure out how to solve problems using Google Meet and Zoom or on their own with phone calls, and work happens. And this, I think, is a very important point for you managers out there, that please look at your recruitment procedures. Please look at your job interview questions. Find out ways that, hey, this person is a very good techie, but can this person also be self-motivated and enjoy working from home? Or does this person really require to come to office? And that decides the recruitment strategy. And this input can be very useful for you because this person can be utilized in a variety of ways, can bring a new culture to the organization, because what we need is a group of people coming together. Whether they come together online, offline is your decision. So be very clear. So let me summarize these 3 suggestions. Step number 1, make a decision and walk the talk. Step number 2, empathize with your audiences and employees. This is the time you should do it. Don't talk about empathy on LinkedIn and do these things which are really bad for your teams. And number 3, please make sure that you create job descriptions which are conducive to the kind of decision you're making. If you've decided to go online, make sure the employees have the character and the behavior to work online. If you have a mismatch, it will be a very unproductive organization. So please realign your objectives, talent systems and competencies for an online and offline place. I must tell you that this debate is here to stay. There is no solution for it in the short term. Either you just decide and move on, let people haw and huff, which I talked about, and many people will leave, fine, let them go, they'll find some other jobs, there are plenty of jobs available, they'll figure it out. Or they will change and come back and agree to you. So that is one area. The second is, it's a wake-up call for you managers out there. I think there's a great lesson for all of us. The world is changing and we managers are not changing. So let's change with the world, or else we'll become dinosaurs, and we all know what happened to dinosaurs. So on that note, stay safe.